Right guys, so as you can see the Corsa's all back together. We still need to get the hinges to sort that out. That's nothing to worry about. What we're doing now is getting it ready for its MOT. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and started the engine. You can see the fog lights are fine, the front hazards are fine, the main beam which we flash with, that's fine. So yeah, well, we've got one of the headlights out. So we've got a headlight out on this side, which is just that one there. Our dim bulb is fine, daytime running light I know is fine, but this side one's got a daytime running light out. So we've got two bulbs to sort out. Then we went over to the suspension, which is just here. So we were looking at the suspension. I've already had the car jacked up. I've had a look at the car and everything was perfect. The tyres and everything is fine. However, it has got slightly corroded brake discs, which you can just see there, but there's no lip on them. So if I run my finger along the edge, there's no lip on them there, so it looks fine. All the track rod ends, everything was fine. You can't see the brake pads in there, but the brake pads have got plenty of meat on them. So if we then move over, obviously the bodywork condition isn't what's too much. Went to the rear tyre, again, rear tyre, plenty of thread, next to a new tyre. It's got brake drums on the back, so they'll test it on the rollers to see what the brake efficiency is like. You then move to the rear of the car. There's no smoke emitting from the exhaust, which can sometimes mess up with the emissions. Now, just from here, you can see there, our headlights are working fine and our hazards are working fine. I have had someone inside of the car where we've tested the brakes. They're working fine. The reverse lights are fine. Number plate bulbs are fine. Rear fog lights are fine. So we're completely happy with the bulbs, other than the front ones. I've had a look at this side. Again, no issues. Tyres fine. Brake drum, outer edge does have slight corrosion, but it's not even an advisory. I don't believe it is an advisory at all. If we then walk over to the front of the car, to this side, tyres fine, doesn't need inflating. It might look like it does, but it doesn't. Again, brake discs, I think the advisory would be worn, pitted or scored, but it's just from where it's been sat. There's no actual lip on the discs. Again, the pad on this side is perfectly fine. We would then need to go over to the interior of the car. So I have been underneath the car with the jack on. So I've had the jack on, been underneath the car just to check what the underneath looks like, and it's all under trade up underneath. It's in extremely good condition, which is obviously brilliant. So as you can see, we've got our lights left on there. So if we turn our hazard lights off, turn the front fog, rear fog, oops, I've just turned the rear fog back on. Turn our main one off, put the lights back onto auto, and then the daytime running bulb isn't working. However, it doesn't give any codes to us. So if you look, Vauxhall's basically here, they usually give codes. Let's see, does this one give anything? So you'd normally get like, I think it normally says code like 34, 36 or 28 or 1 or 8, but that just basically means the codes you have. So we're not getting any codes. If we go ahead and start the car up, all the lights turn off. We've got two lights that remain. One's a handbrake light. So if I just go ahead and take the handbrake off, you can see handbrake lights off. I'm going to put the handbrake back on now. And then you've got the other one, which is your seatbelt. So if we just go ahead and plug the seatbelt in, you'll see that light also go off. Go foot on the brake, take the handbrake off, and there we are. Now the car's moves under its power with no issues at all. It's got no lights on the dashboard. Everything in a quick perspective is perfectly fine. All the seats, so they do check when you go for a seat, when you go for an MOT. If I just take this belt off, what they also check, if I jump out and I'll show you, is they check whether the seat belts plug in. So what they do is they'll grab hold of your seat belt, they'll plug it in like that, tighten it up, and then what they check is if when you pull it here, in the case of an accident, it doesn't come out. So if you were to drive now and you were to, let's say, have an emergency brake, you'd have an accident, your belt would pull you forward like that, and as you can see, it stops you from basically going like that in slow motion and smacking your face off the steering wheel. So this goes in slow motion like that, and as you can see, that works. They then unclip it, and the seatbelt returns back to its position. So we do the same on the other side. You grab this seatbelt. So we'll just put it like that and we'll test it. We're happy with that. unclips perfectly fine. Now we need to do the back ones. I'll just do them from here because I can't be bothered getting in and out of the car, which in hindsight is probably a very stupid thing. So the car needs cleaning. As you can see, it's not in the best of nick, but it's clean enough for an MOT. So if I go ahead and check this one, so that's safe, that can come out. It looks like I'm going to have to put the rear seats down because that one's got folded behind there and that one's got folded behind there. So I am going to have to put the rear seats down. Now, I'm not sure if I showed anyone the spec of the car, so we can just see it here. Oh yeah, I found an umbrella in the car. I'm not sure if we ever said that before. I don't think it's branded, but I'm sure that brand is quite similar to... It's not even coming in my head. But anyway, car's got aux, it's got the cigarette port. I believe it's got cruise control. Not a clue how we activate it. But you'll be doing sort of, you're not even looking at me, there we are. Not sure you activate it. We do something like that. I think you have to be at speed. The times there, that's all wrong. So that needs to be reset. And that's what the centre console looks like for anyone that's interested. It's not a bad looking car. It's got 2 keys. And then if we go into the dash, it's got, as you can see, the auction was very generous. They left in service history. Oh, wait, no, they didn't. Apparently, it's a very common thing with this auction that they don't leave any service history in for you at all. But this car has, I think that says back, bed, bool, not a clue, but it says tyres, and it's got new tyres on it, so that's good. They don't check any of this, but you want to check it for yourself. Do the fans work on 1? Because very common for the Corsas, blower motors and resistors to go. I've changed loads, absolutely loads. It is very, very common. You can hear it on 1, on 2, on 3, and on 4, which means we're good to go in that sense. I have already checked the oil, the coolant, the screen wash, and the brake fluid. Everything is fine. So what I need to do is go ahead, get the bulbs changed, and I'm just going to empty the rubbish out of the car. So I'll just throw that all in the bin, throw that in the bin. We don't need the brolly, so we'll throw it all in the bin, and go ahead and get this car dropped off for the MOT. Hopefully it passes its MOT, but what I'll do is I'll keep you guys up to date and let you know what the crack is.